Good afternoon, all of you.
Good afternoon, sir.
Right. So let's start the class straight away by sharing the screen. Okay. Now, yesterday we were in page number 11 and we went through the topic aggregate turnover versus turnover in a state. Now we need to continue from this topic of threshold limit. So already yesterday we went through this topic also to some extent. Only there are 4 special category states, even though as per constitution there are 11 special category states, but as per section 22, as per give me a second. Hello sir, good afternoon sir. Right. So as per constitution of our country, there are 11 special category states, out of which as per section 22, 7 states will not be considered as special category states for the purpose of GST registration threshold. So left out states are 4. What are they? Mizoram, Tripura, Manipur, and Nagaland. These are the 4 states. Actually, threshold limit for these special category states is 10 lakhs. All other states is 20 lakhs. But what they can do, 10 can be increased to 20, subject to restrictions and conditions. 20 can be increased to 40, subject to conditions and restrictions. Okay. And also yesterday we understood that if he is having places of business both from or he is providing taxable services both from special category states and other states, 10 lakhs will be applicable. Okay, 10 lakhs will be applicable. Now, actually, there is a notification number 10/2019 which exempts any person who is engaged in exclusive supply of goods and whose aggregate turnover in a financial year does not exceed 40 lakhs from the registration requirement. You are dealing with exclusive supply of goods, but you are giving loans or deposits and receiving interest or discount, then you will be treated as providing the exclusive supply of goods. Okay. However, this is not applicable to certain persons. Who are they? Who are required compulsorily to be registered under section 24. So any person is exclusively supplying goods and the aggregated turnover in the financial year does not exceed 40 lakhs, no need of registration at all. But this is not applicable to certain categories of persons. Who are they? Who are compulsorily required to be registered under section 24. Suppose this person is engaged in a manufacture or supply of ice cream, edible ice cream other than edible ice and other edible ice, whether or not containing cocoa, pan masala, tobacco and manufactured tobacco substitutes. If they are engaged in any of these manufacturing or supplying of any of these items, then this exemption is not applicable. If you are making intra-state supplies in the state of Arunachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Meghalaya, Sikkim, Telangana, Puducherry, special category states as per section 22 means 4. For them 40 lakhs limit is not applicable. For them the limit is only 20 lakhs. For them the limit is only 20 lakhs because some states did not ask for increasing the threshold limit. Therefore, for those states the threshold limit will be 20 and for special category states it will be only 10. Right? Suppose you are making interstate supply of goods. You are making interstate supply of goods. Then compulsory registration is required. Compulsory registration is required. If you are making interstate outward supply, then compulsory registration is required for you. Suppose you have taken voluntary registration. Then also this threshold is not applicable for you. If you have taken registration, you have to pay tax, that's all, on taxable supplies. Now here, this table is given as to what is the threshold limit for each of the states and union territories. But You can go through the table, but this is a simple representation. This is a simple flowchart. What is that? State with a threshold limit of 10 lakhs for both goods and services. Manipur, Mizoram, Nagaland, Tripura. These four are special category states. Special category states. For this, already we saw this flow chart somewhere in one of our earlier chapters, maybe in chapter 1 or 2. Most probably in chapter 2 we might have referred this chart. Again we are revisiting this. If you are supplying goods or services, anything, for special category states it is only 10 lakhs. Some states did not increase it from 20 lakhs to 40 lakhs. They remained with 20 lakhs only for goods or services. They are Arunachal Pradesh, Meghalaya, Sikkim, Uttarakhand, Puducherry, Telangana. Okay. Now, other people. Now these are states or union territories. Actually, Puducherry is a state with legislation. Is a state or a union territory with legislation. If it is a union territory with legislation, it will be considered as a state in GST law. States or union territories with a threshold limit of 20 lakhs for services and 40 lakhs for goods. What are they? Jammu Kashmir, Assam, Himachal Pradesh, all other states. But this 40 lakhs will be available only for intra-state supply of goods. Intra-state supply of outward goods. Outward supplies. So 40 lakhs threshold limit is applicable only you are exclusively engaged in supply of goods. That you should understand. But in these states, if this fellow is providing both goods and services, then the threshold limit is 20. In these states, if the person is supplying only services, then the threshold is 20 only. Okay, now let us understand these threshold limits with the help of an example. Let us understand these threshold limits with the help of an example. Right. Prithviraj of Assam. Assam means, where is that fellow? He is in the last category. Assam is in last category. Now, you may wonder or you may ask me, sir, how to remember these states? Any one of you may have a doubt. It is natural. What will be my answer to your doubt? Can anyone tell me? How to remember this flow chart or diagram, or how to remember all these states for which the different thresholds? If anyone has a doubt, can anyone tell me what will be my answer? Are you listening, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What will be my answer? Tell me. You can't tell. Nobody can tell what will be my answer.
Reading repeatedly.
Reading repeatedly. Any other answer you may expect from me? Any other answer that you expect from me? Nobody is able to guess what will be the answer that will be given by me. Somebody posted in the chat box. How to remember this is your headache, it's not my headache. That will be my answer. Okay. But I can tell you one thing. What is that one thing? First four you can remember because these are special category. Okay. Next, these fellows are small fellows. Okay. Don't quote me somewhere that I told that these people are small fellows. Don't quote me like that for God's sake. Because these people may harass me. Okay. So small states, small fellows. Okay. These all the other states are somewhat medium or big fellows. So they can afford large number of people not paying taxes, because if you increase the threshold from 20 to 40, what will happen? All those fellows with a turnover up to 40 lakhs won't pay tax to the government. So these people can afford. These people are small fellows who can't afford the increase in the threshold limit because they will be deprived of the taxes. They will not have the money at their disposal, adequate money at their disposal to do public service or to undertake welfare measures for the people. Okay. Right. Assam is in the third category. Exclusively engaged in intra-state supply of shoes. The aggregate turnover in the financial year is 20 lakhs. Now, Assam exclusively supply of goods, that to shoes. So threshold limit is 40 lakhs. Suppose in this example, Prithviraj is exclusively engaged in pan masala. Pan masala, ice cream, including other edible ice cream, tobacco, including manufactured tobacco substitutes. This 40 lakhs threshold limit is not applicable as per the notification. So 20 lakhs will be the threshold limit then. Thereby he will require registration. Instead of pan masala, this fellow is engaged in the supply of services. Services means again threshold limit will become 20 lakhs. So if aggregate turnover is 20 lakhs, then he has to get himself registered. That is how you have to understand. Suppose this fellow is engaged in both supply of goods as well as services, then automatically threshold limit becomes 20 lakhs. Shivaji of Telangana. Telangana means middle fellow, small fellow. Don't quote that I told Telangana as a small fellow with KTR sir or KCR sir. Don't tell. Don't tell for God's sake that I have told Telangana to be small. Don't tell them. Okay. Why did I tell? Because you will remember that for that state, they have not increased the threshold limit from 20 to 40. They remained at 20. They remained at 20 lakhs. Exclusively engaged in intra-state supply of water, toys. Turnover how much? 22. 22. So for them, the threshold limit is only 20 lakh. This fellow requires registration. Okay. Now, suppose this fellow, Shivaji fellow, He is not engaged in supply of goods, but he is engaged in supply of services. Then automatically threshold limit is 20 lakhs. Suppose this Shivaji Telangana fellow is engaged in supply of both services as well as goods. Then again this turnover, the threshold limit will be 20 lakhs. That you should understand. Now, are all of you following what I am saying? Are you with me, all of you? I will go for a poll. I will go
Yes,
for
sir.
a poll. I will go for a poll. Okay, answer the poll, all of you. Only 60% responded, 65% responded, 23 out of 35 have responded. Of course, I should make it 33. 26 of 33, 75% of you responded. What about the rest of you? 4 plus 3, 7 are yet to respond. 7 of you are yet to respond. Come quickly respond. 6 of you yet to respond. 5 of you. 5 of you are yet to respond. Quickly do that. Okay. So those 5 people are out of our radar. May God bless them and give them the strength that they will be able to perform even when they are not attentive in the class. We'll move on to the next question. Ashoka of Manipur. Manipur, if you recollect, are you able to recollect Sai Pallavi? Once I have uttered the word Sai Pallavi, most of you, the photo of Sai Pallavi might have flashed in somewhere in your deep memory. Yes or no? Yes or no? Did the photo of Sai Pallavi flash in deepest, deep in your memory? Yes or no? Nobody is answering. Okay, I will answer for yourself. Most of you, the photo of Sai Pallavi flashed. But when I say Manipur also, at least if not all of you, at least for some of you, this should have flashed. This should have flashed in your memory. Manipur is on the left side of the chart. That is special category state. For special category state, the limit is only 10 lakhs. Be it goods, be it service, whatever it be, it should be only 10 lakhs. But if you are making interstate, no threshold. 1 rupee also chargeable. But if you are doing interstate supply, again threshold will come. Okay, we will complicate the things when we move forward. But for now, you understand that for intrastate supplies, exclusively engaged in intrastate supply of paper, the aggregate turnover 12 lakhs. Manipur is a special category state. The threshold limit is only 10 lakhs. Suppose this Ashoka is engaged in taxable supply of service. He is engaged in the taxable supply of service. Then also 10 lakhs. Then also 10 lakhs. If Ashoka is engaged in supply of a service as well as goods, then also 10 lakhs only. Raghava is in Assam. Raghava is in Assam. Tamanna. I have uttered the word Tamanna. Then automatically Tamanna should have flashed in your deepest memory for most of you, if not all of you. Now, did that chart flash for any one of you, if not all of you? Can anyone tell me at which side is it, on left side, middle of it, the table, or on the right side of the table Assam is listed?
Right side.
Right side.
Right side it is listed. So 2040. 2040. Okay, 2040. Good. Exclusively engaged in intrastate supply of ready-made garments. Turnover Assam is 28 lakhs. It has another showroom in Tripura. Another showroom in Tripura. So what did you fly? Did the table flash you? Where is Tripura? Tripura. Where
Left
is-
side, sir.
Right side.
Left side.
Left.
Left, special category state, Tripura. Minute fellow, not small fellow. Small fellow is middle fellow. Big fellow is right fellow. Minute fellow, left side, Tripura. Okay, Tripura is a minute fellow. Don't tell Tripura people that I call them minute. Only for the sake of understanding and for the benefit of remembering, I am telling all these things. Okay, I have respect for all states. Okay, so Tripura, left side. Now what happened? Raghava exclusively engaged in the supply of ready-made garments. Turnover from Assam is 28 lakh. Another showroom in Tripura with a turnover of 11 lakhs. What happened? 11 plus 28, how much? 39. 39. Assam is the right side. Tripura is the left side. But if a person is supplying from both special category as well as other than special category, automatically that fellow's turnover will become 10 lakhs, threshold limit. So in both states, you need a registration. In both states, you need registration. Because his threshold will become automatically 10 lakhs. Registration required for only a place of business from where taxable supplies takes place. He may have places of business in any number of states, in any number of union territories. Minute fellow, small fellow, big fellow, anywhere you can have business. All India basis turnover, the aggregate turnover is to be taken into account for computing the threshold limit. But what will happen is, if in any of the state or union territory, he makes a exempt or non-taxable supply. Exempt or non-taxable supply. Obtain registration with respect to each place of business in India from where he makes a taxable supply. He need not take a registration from where he makes an exempt or non-taxable supply. Okay. That you should understand. One more thing you should keep in mind. What is that? Threshold limit of a person having place of business in more than one state in India gets reduced to 10 lakhs when such person makes taxable supplies of goods or service or both from any of the special category states. Automatically it will become 10 lakhs. But if in the special category state, if he supply exempt or non-taxable supply, in Manipur, he supplies exempt or non-taxable supply. In Assam, he supplied taxable supply. Then the threshold limit will not be decreased. The threshold limit will not be decreased. When will the threshold limit be decreased? Only when he makes a taxable supply. Only when he makes a taxable supply in the state of special category, then only your threshold limit will decrease. That you should keep in mind. Uday Enterprises engaged in supply of taxable goods in Maharashtra. No problem, what is there? In Maharashtra, taxable goods. It supplies alcoholic liquor for human consumption in Nagaland. Alcohol. Okay, in Nagaland. Turnover in Maharashtra is 34 lakhs. Nagaland is 8 lakhs. Nagaland is 8 lakhs. Now, what is the total aggregate turnover? Aggregate turnover. What is the aggregate turnover? Aggregate turnover is 44 lakhs. Aggregate turnover is 44 lakhs because to calculate the aggregate turnover, it includes all turnovers. So 34 plus 8, it will be 44. But in Nagaland, he is supplying exclusively non-taxable. Therefore, no registration. Therefore, no registration is required. No registration is required. But will the threshold limit be reduced to 10 lakhs? Next question. Will the threshold limit be reduced to 10 lakhs? Next question is no. Threshold limit will not be reduced. Why? Because in the special category states, non-taxable supply is done. So no question of reducing the threshold limit. Now, this is Maharashtra. This is Maharashtra. Interstate, intrastate supply of goods. Then the threshold limit is 40 lakhs. Threshold limit is 40 lakhs. But what happened? Aggregate turnover is 44 lakhs. Aggregate turnover is 44 lakhs because aggregate turnover all India basis, it includes taxable, exempted, exports. Exports also it will include. And interstate supply between distinct persons in the same pan computed on all India basis. But it will not include taxes, CGST, SGST, IGST, UTGST and compensation cess. It will not include supplies on which tax is payable on reverse charge. Here it is 44 lakhs. So he has crossed the limit. So in Maharashtra, he requires registration. In Maharashtra, it requires registration. But in Nagaland, no need of registration. Person liable for registration in the case of transfer of business. There is a transfer of ownership. There is a transfer of business. This may be due to many reasons, like succession, or any other reason, including transfer or change in ownership of the business. Sometimes the proprietor has died. The successor came. The business is being transferred as a going concern. Then the successor has to be registered with effect from the date of such transfer or succession. But if it happens to be a compulsory, or it happens to be an amalgamation or demerger of a company, then the date on which the person is liable to get registered is the date on which the certificate of incorporation for the new company, amalgamated or demerged company. For the amalgamated or demerged company, the date on which incorporation certificate is given will be the date on which this fellow becomes liable for registration. From that date, within 30 days, he should get himself registered. That is the thing you should understand. Now, compulsory registration in certain cases. Until now, what we have understood? Until now, we understood that registration is required to be taken if a person is making taxable supply from whatever. He has to take registration in every state or union territory from where he is making taxable supply of goods or services or both, provided aggregate turnover exceeds a threshold limit. We went into the details as to what is the threshold limit applicable for the special category states, all other states, increase of the threshold limit, blah blah blah, etc. We went through. But now what we are going to deal is certain categories of persons should get themselves registered even though their aggregate turnover does not exceed the threshold limit. Even though the aggregate turnover does not exceed the threshold limit, those worst fellows have to get themselves registered. Even from 1 rupee, they need to get themselves as registered. Who are those people? Person making any interstate taxable supply. If you are making an interstate taxable supply from any state or union territory, irrespective of the threshold limit, you should get yourself registered. If you have registered, means you have to pay tax on the taxable supplies. No issue at all. But if you are making interstate supply of taxable service and notified handicraft goods, then still the threshold limit of 20 lakhs will be applicable for all others. 10 lakhs for 4 special category states will apply. Meaning, you have to understand that I am a person who is making a taxable supply from Vijayawada, Andhra Pradesh. As a part of my business, I supply goods to Maharashtra. I supply goods to Maharashtra from Vijayawada. Okay. There is one Mr. Gaikwad. in Maharashtra who loves my goods. He always procures goods from me. So I supply goods to Gaikwad of Maharashtra. Now tell me, my turnover is only 15 lakhs. I only supply goods to Gaikwad. I don't supply goods to any other worst fellow on this earth except Gaikwad. My turnover, aggregate turnover in the year is 15 lakhs. Should I get myself registered? Yes or no? No answer. I will answer myself. What is there? I am used to telling to teaching to myself. So I will answer myself. I need not get myself registered, or I should get registered. I should get registered because I am making interstate supply of goods. Threshold limit is not applicable to me. But if I make a interstate supply of service, but not goods, automatically the threshold will come into play. Since this is a service, only 20 lakhs or 10 lakhs will be the threshold. Casual taxable person making taxable supply. Casual taxable person. For casual taxable person, no threshold limit will be applicable. But if the casual taxable person is making interstate taxable supply of notified handicraft goods, if the casual taxable person is making supply of notified handicapped goods and availing the benefit of exemption from registration as mentioned in point number 1 above, then that fellow, for him, the threshold limit of 20 lakhs or 10 lakhs is applicable. That fellow is making a interstate taxable supply of notified handicraft goods. You are a person who is required to pay tax under reverse charge on inward supplies received by you. Then you should take registration. However, you are a person required to pay tax under the reverse charge on inward supplies. On your inward supplies, you are liable to pay tax on reverse charge. You should take registration. That's all. In spite of the threshold limit will not apply to you. But you are a person making an outward supply, tax on which is liable to be paid on reverse charge basis. You are a person exclusively engaged in outward supplies, tax on which is liable to be paid on reverse charge by the recipient. You are exempt from registration. For example, I am a goods transport agency. I supply freight service only to companies. I am an individual goods transport agency. I carry goods belonging to companies only. Then automatically, whatever outward supply of service I have made, the entire outward supply of service made by me is liable for reverse charge. The recipient has to pay tax. In such a case, I am not required to take a registration. I am not required to take a registration. Non-resident taxable person making taxable supply. Making taxable supply. You have to take a registration. E-commerce operator who is required to collect a tax at source, TCS. E-commerce operator required to collect a TCS should get themselves registered. Okay. Next, persons who supply goods or services other than section 9 subsection 5 through e-commerce operator who is required to collect a TCS, they also should get themselves compulsorily registered. But you are providing service through e-commerce operator, then again 20 lakhs and 10 lakhs threshold limit will be applicable to you. So every e-commerce operator should register. If I am supplying goods or services through e-commerce operator, I should also register. But if I am making only supply of service through e-commerce operator, then for me threshold limit is applicable. Next comes exemption. Any person who is required to deduct TDS, that fellow has to get a registration. For him, no threshold limit is applicable. Person who makes a taxable supply of goods or service or both on behalf of the other person. Let us say I am agent of X. I am the agent. X sells goods through me, means I sell goods on behalf of X. I am an agent. For me, threshold limit is not applicable. I should register, that's all. No threshold limit is applicable for me. Should take registration. Input service distributor, no threshold limit. OIDAR service, OIDAR service, no threshold limit. Persons who are required to pay tax under reverse charge under section 9 subsection 5, they should also get themselves registered. No threshold limit is applicable for these 10 categories of people or persons. They should get themselves registered. Okay. Now, and another fellow is there, residuary fellow. Any other person or class of persons who may be notified by the government. Now, let's go into the examples. Examine with reason whether registration is required. Adav Computers of Gujarat is providing computer maintenance service. Aggregate turnover Adav Computers 15 lakhs, which comprise both inter as well as intra. If you are making interstate supply, no threshold limit. But if you are making interstate supply of service, then threshold limit is applicable. So this fellow 15 lakhs only, no registration required. No registration required for this fellow. Because why? Because he is only making interstate supply of service. If it happens to be goods, then threshold limit will not be applicable. But here, since it is service, threshold limit is applicable. Only 15 lakhs is his turnover, so no need of registration. Soft Wings West Bengal, exclusively trading in garments, supplies its taxable goods to various states of India from outlet in West Bengal. The aggregate turnover 35 lakhs. For West Bengal, 40 lakhs limit is there, but it should be intrastate. But what this fellow has done, this fellow is doing the interstate supplies. If it happens to be interstate supplies of goods, no threshold limit, registration is compulsory. Registration is compulsory. Required to obtain registration, this fellow. Not required. First part, not required. Second question, required. Persons not liable for registration. Now, if you examine the sequence of activities, if you might have examined the sequence of activities, first we went through section 22, thereafter 23, thereafter 24, now we came to 23. 22 deals with registration. 24, non-applicability of threshold limit, who are compulsorily required to get themselves registered. Now coming to 23, no need of registration. Coming to section number 23, there is no need of a registration. Who are the person who are not required to take registration? Now, those persons are listed in section number 23. Section number 23. Who are they? Persons engaged exclusively in the business of supplying goods and or services not liable to tax or wholly exempt from tax. They need not take registration. They need not take registration. Any person who is exclusively engaged, in the business of supplying goods and or services which is not liable to tax or which is wholly exempt. Suppose I am a trader in rice, unbranded rice. Unbranded rice is exempt from GST. My aggregate turnover is 100 crores. My aggregate turnover is 100 crores. By virtue of section number 23, I need not take registration at all. I need not take a registration at all. Why? I am exclusively supplying exempted goods. So no need of registration for me. Example, Madura Oil Punjab is engaged exclusively in supplying petrol. Petrol is non-taxable. Petrol is non-taxable as per section 9 of the CGST Act. Since this fellow is exclusively engaged in supply of non-taxable goods, no need of registration as per section number 23. Bhavya Jyoti Foundation, a charitable trust exclusively engaged in supply of service by way of charitable activities, exempt. A trust registered under section 12 AA supplying service of charitable activities. What do you mean by charitable activity? We learned in the exemption notification. Okay. Exemption notification of services. There is an exemption notification for goods. There is an exemption notification for services. We went through all those things in our exemptions chapter, section 11 of the CGST Act. Now, since this fellow is exclusively supplying exempt service, no registration, no need. Next, an agriculturist, to the extent of supply of produce out of cultivation of land. Let us say I am an agriculturist. I have cultivated land and produced some vegetables. I need not get myself registered because I am an agriculturist. I am supplying only what is produced out of the cultivated land. What is cultivated out of my land. No need of registration at all for me. Whatever is produced from cultivation of land, no GST to the cultivator. But for certain goods, though it is agricultural produce, tax has to be paid on a reverse charge. Somewhere in reverse charge 9 subsection 3, we have learned that. But there is no GST on the person who cultivated it. Are all of you with me? All of you are maintaining pin drop silence. And I can't see any of you because most of you will switch off your videos. I can't see any of you. But I suppose and I pray God that all of you are listening to me. Right. So, an agriculturist who supplies produce out of cultivation of land, no need to register. The next question comes, who is an agriculturist? Agriculturist means an individual or HUF who undertakes cultivation of land by his own labor. I myself cultivates the land. I myself till the land. I myself sow the seeds. I myself weed out the unwanted growth of let us say grass or something. I will do weeding myself. I will harvest myself. Whatever my agricultural land require for cultivation, I do it myself. Or my family members, myself, my wife, my son, my daughter, all of us work in my farmland, cultivate, harvest the produce. Or I have some big land wherein 4 of us are not sufficient to do the work. I require some 20 people. So 16 extra people I require. I have engaged farm labor, but I will supervise myself. I will supervise myself. This is the definition of agriculturist. So the benefit is restricted to agriculturists who are individuals or HUFs. Who are individuals or HUFs. Suppose agriculturist is also supplying other than what is produced out of cultivation of land, then automatically what will happen is registration is required based upon the threshold limit. Based upon the threshold limit. Okay. Deshbandhu is an agriculturist engaged. Deshbandhu is an agriculturist engaged in cultivation of wheat. Cultivation of wheat in the state of Punjab. He was exclusively engaged in supply of wheat cultivated in his field in the previous year. What will happen? Not liable for registration. No need of registration. No need to pay tax also. But what happened? In the current year, he decides to start trading in rice. Apart from supplying wheat produce. Turnover in the current year is 32 lakhs from wheat produce, 9 lakhs from rice trading. 9 lakhs from rice trading. Automatically, if he starts trading of rice, he will not get the benefit of section 23. Section 23 benefit when you will get, you are an agriculturist and you are engaged in supplying only what is cultivated. But this fellow is cultivating, supplying the produce out of the cultivation. Apart from that, he started trading in rice also. So section 23, he will come out of 23. No benefit of 23. Now, what will happen? He will go into section 22. Section 22 means threshold will apply. Punjab is 40 lakhs. Only if it is intrastate supply of goods. Now what he is doing? Wheat, how much? 32 produced plus 9. 32 plus 9, how much? 41. 32 plus 9, how much? 41. Now this has crossed the limit. So registration is required. Registration is required. Okay. Next. Suppose what is cultivated by him, what is being traded by him, both are exempted. Both are exempted. Then what will happen? no registration. If he is exclusively supplying exempted goods or services, no registration is required. Now here, if rice is taxable, then registration problem comes with this fellow. But he is supplying unbranded rice. Then automatically what will happen? Rice is exempt, wheat is exempt, produced by him, both are exempt. If both are exempt, no need of registration. No. Specified category of persons notified by government. Notified by government are also exempt. Who are the specified category persons? Persons making only reverse charge supplies. Persons making only reverse charge supply. Suppose I am a person supplying taxable goods or services. But whatever goods or services I am supplying, actually they are not chargeable on forward charge. They are chargeable on reverse charge. Then I need not get myself registered. I need not get myself registered. Okay. Next. Manikaran Transporters Goods Transport Agency engaged exclusively on supply of goods transport agency services. Liable to be taxed under reverse charge. Liable to be taxed under reverse charge. So whatever I am supplying is chargeable under reverse charge. So I need not get myself registered. Suppose Manikaran Transporters supplied services to Divakar Manufacturing Private Limited. This fellow is a company. This fellow is a company. Let us assume this fellow's turnover is less than 20 lakhs. Less than 20 lakhs. But what happened? This fellow is compulsorily required to get himself registered under section 24. Why? If you are liable to pay tax on reverse charge, even though you are less than threshold limit, you are required to get yourself registered. Why? Manikaran is supplying to Divakar. This is a company. Company means goods transport agency service means reverse charge will apply. So Divakar Manufacturing Private Limited should pay tax. But if Divakar Manufacturing Private Limited threshold limit is turnover is less than threshold limit, section 24 will come into play. Section 24 will come into play and automatically Divakar Manufacturing Company should get himself registered. Divakar Manufacturing Private Limited should get himself registered. Next. Person making interstate supply of taxable services up to 20 lakhs. Person making interstate supply of taxable services up to 20 lakhs. That fellow also need not get himself registered. But special category states will be 10 lakhs. Who are they? Mizoram, Tripura, Manipur, Nagaland, northeastern states. Now, let us check another example. What is that example? Dola & Co, located in Delhi, engaged in supply of taxable goods in the neighboring states of Punjab and Haryana. Its aggregate turnover in the current financial year is 10 lakhs. Oh my God. Now, what happened? This fellow is making interstate supply. Interstate supply of what goods? Interstate supply of taxable goods. Then what happened? Then threshold limit will not apply. So you have to register mandatorily. But this fellow, instead of making a supply of taxable goods, if he is making a supply of taxable service, then what will happen? You have the threshold limit of 20 lakhs. You have the threshold limit of 20 lakhs. Okay. Next comes person making interstate taxable supply of notified handicraft. Person making interstate supply of notified handicraft goods up to 20 lakhs. Handicraft goods are goods. Okay. But if you make interstate supply of goods, no threshold limits as per section 23. Okay. Give me a second. Hello. Right. If you make interstate supply of goods, no threshold limit. But government with its powers has introduced this exemption from registration. Modi ji is so generous and so kind enough towards those people who are engaged or who are involved in a handicraft sector. They want to encourage the handicraft sector. They want to support the handicraft sector. So they gave this exemption. What is that? If you are supplying notified handicraft goods interstate, you will have a threshold limit of 20 lakhs. You will have a threshold limit of 20 lakhs. Okay. What are the conditions? Notified handicraft goods. What are notified handicraft goods? Which are eligible for concessional rate of tax, for instance, handicraft candles. Now at the beginning, first wave of Corona, Modi ji told that all of us should make noise. All of us should light candles. All of us should light diyas. Worst fellow myself. I also made noise. I also lit candles. But now when I remember that day on which I made a noise, when I remember that day when Modi ji told me to light a candle, if I remember that day and that scene is still live in my memory, sometimes I will feel ashamed myself. Sometimes I will laugh at myself. Okay. As if Corona will be driven away if you light a candle. As if Corona will be thrown out of our world if we make a noise. My neighbors looked at me in somewhat ignorant manner also. Why this fellow, if Modi ji tells to make sound, This idiot is making sound disturbing us. If Modi ji told to lit a candle, this idiot he has come out and he is lighting the candle. They laughed at me. My neighbors and those people who are going on road laughed at me. But I have done those two acts as Modi ji told me. Now, when I remember those 2 days, I will laugh at myself. Okay. Or I pity myself also. So candles, I remember when I came across the word candle, I remembered that day. Okay. Candles, articles made of paper, match, coir articles, handy, all these things. Okay. All these things are notified handicraft goods. Okay. Notified products when made by craftsmen predominantly by hand, even though some machinery is used. Conditions: 10 lakhs for special category, other cities 20 lakhs. Person should have a PAN and have generated an e-way bill. This is e-way bill. Whenever there is an exemption or whenever there is a benefit, it will always come with some limitations, conditions, restrictions. When you give exemption or when you give threshold, give it wholeheartedly. But you will again put some conditions that this worst fellow should have PAN number. This worst fellow should also generate e-way bill. So these two are riders. You can't get away by not registering and making interstate supply. You should have PAN. You should generate e-way bill to catch hold of you. Right. Moving forward, sometimes whatever things I say, some of the things you may not be in a position to understand at that time. But as you grow and become wiser, you will remember the words which I say on this day and you will understand at that time. Okay. Ariza Private Limited, located in Madhya Pradesh, supplier of taxable and notified handicapped goods. It supplies these goods in the neighboring states of Uttar Pradesh, Orissa. The aggregate turnover in the month of April is 15 lakhs. Okay. Is it required to take a registration? No need. No need. Because they are located in Madhya Pradesh. For Madhya Pradesh, threshold limit is 20 lakhs. For interstate. For interstate. If it is only intrastate exclusive goods, then it will be 40. But this happens to be interstate. Interstate, no threshold limit. But this fellow is making supply of interstate supply of notified handicraft goods. So threshold limit will kick in. But this threshold limit is 20 lakhs. Casual taxable person making interstate taxable supplies of notified handicapped goods. Now, what is the difference between C and D? Can anyone tell me? Don't worry, I will tell myself. The difference between point number C and D is, what is point number C? Point number C is person making. Point number D is casual taxable person. Point number D is casual taxable person making interstate supply of notified handicraft goods up to 20 lakhs. Okay. Difference between point number C and D is difference between point number C and D is C is any person, D is casual taxable person. 20 lakhs, 10 lakhs, you should have PAN and a generated e-way bill. Liability to register in respect of services provided by commission agent for sale or purchase of agricultural produce, when that fellow should get himself registered. Now suppose A sells his agricultural produce through B. B is the agent. A is the principal. A is the principal. What B will do? He will identify the prospective buyers for A. Now, B will sell the produce on behalf of A, for which B will get a commission. B will get a commission. B will get a commission. Suppose A is the principal, B is the agent, both of them will become related parties. Any transaction between related parties, though not for consideration, will be deemed to be a supply. Principal and agent are related parties. We went through this concept when we are dealing with the chapter supply. In supply, we have schedule 1, deemed supply. The activity treated as a supply, though not made for consideration. We call it as a deemed supply. Agent and principal are related parties. If any activity is carried on between themselves, even though not for consideration, it will be deemed as a supply. Now let us say, if B is providing the service of an agent, if A's product is agricultural produce, if A's product is agricultural produce, then the service provided by B is exempt. The service provided by B is exempt. It is exempt services. It is exempt services. We went through this in the chapter of exemptions also. That if any agent supplies the service of buying or selling agricultural produce, that is exempted by way of exemption. We discussed in chapter 4, exemption chapter. Then if anyone is supplying exclusively supplying exempted supplies, then no need of registration. No need of registration. But in section 24, what we have been learned, if you are supplying on behalf of any other person, now B is an agent. I told you this example. A is the principal. if B is supplying goods on behalf of A, means he is supplying goods belonging to others, then threshold limit is not applicable. That is what we have learned in section 24. In section 23, what we have learned? In section 23, what we have learned is, if anybody is engaged exclusively in supply of exempted goods or services, no need of registration. Gods must be crazy. In a nutshell, what I can tell you is, gods must be crazy. Okay. Section 23 says that if you are exclusively engaged in supply of goods or services which are exempt from tax, no need of registration. But what does section 24 say? 24 states that if you are making taxable supply of goods or services on behalf of other person, then threshold limit is not applicable to you. Now tell me, should this worst fellow B get himself registered or not registered because he was in the crossfire of section 23 and section 24? 23 is hitting him, 24 is hitting him. Now the answer is, principal should be taxable person and supply by the commission agent should also be taxable. Both these conditions are required to be satisfied if B is to register. B is to register. When B should register? B should register if principal is a taxable person and whatever supply that is made by the commission agent is taxable. But if A's agricultural produce is being sold by B, what is happening? What is happening is, first of all, the supply made by commission agent is exempt. Next point, what is happening? The agricultural produce is also exempt. So, whether the agent is to get himself registered or not, two conditions are required to be satisfied. What are they? The principal should be a taxable person. In our example, principal is A, who is an agriculturist. Agriculturist is a non-taxable person. So one of the condition has failed. So if an agent selling on behalf of an agriculturist is not required to get himself registered. Suppose commission agent is liable to pay tax under reverse charge, then automatically the other section will kick in and he is compulsorily required to get himself registered, because any person who is liable to pay tax on a reverse charge, irrespective of threshold limit, he should get himself registered. That you should understand. So section 23, who need not get registered? Who are they? If you are making exclusive supply of goods or services which are not liable to tax, they may be exempted or they may be non-taxable. If you are exclusively, this is non-taxable person, this is wholly exempt person. Agriculturist to the extent of supply of produce out of cultivation of land. Next, all those specified category of persons who are notified by the government on the recommendation of the GST Council. Examine whether the liability to register compulsorily under section 24 arise in each of the independent cases. No, I understand we ran out of time, but I suggest all of you to be in the class at least for 2 or 3 minutes so that we will go through these 3 illustrations. Meenu is a supplier in Maharashtra exclusively engaged in the supply of potatoes produced out of cultivation of her own land within Maharashtra and also outside Maharashtra. No need of registration. Because you are an agriculturist, non-taxable person, you are supplying only the produce out of cultivation of your land. Even though you make interstate supply, you need not get yourself registered. You need not get yourself registered. Okay. Next. Geno Oil Gujarat is engaged in supply of machine oil as well as petrol. Further, it provides services of refining of oils to customer. Total turnover of supply of machine oil is 10 lakhs, petrol is 5 lakh, service is 6 lakhs. Gujarat. So machine oil taxable. Petrol, non-taxable. Service. All 3 you have to add. 10 plus 5 plus 6. How much? 15, 21. Both service and goods. Gujarat threshold limit 20 lakhs. Here it became 21 lakhs. So registration is compulsory. Registration is compulsory. Gujarat 20 lakhs. $21 lakhs. Liable to obtain registration. Liable to obtain. You have to examine the reasoning which I gave. The same reasoning has been given in the answer also. Tilu is working as an agent. He is agent. Agent means supplying goods on behalf of someone. No threshold limit. Chargeable. Supplying taxable goods as an agent of TICU, who is a registered taxable person. The aggregate turnover does not exceed 20 lakh. You have to take registration. If you are supplying goods, 2 conditions are to be satisfied. What are they? Supplier should be a taxable person, and what is being supplied should also be taxable. Both the conditions are satisfied, agent should get himself registered, irrespective of the threshold limit. Irrespective of the threshold limit. So here, who makes taxable supply on behalf of other taxable person, whether as an agent or otherwise, are required to obtain registration compulsorily, irrespective of the quantum of aggregate turnover. So friends, by this time, we have understood who have to register, who have to compulsory register, who need not register. These 3 things we discussed at length today with illustrations also. Hope all of you have followed the class. Of course, the classes are not being interactive, but nonetheless, it is sufficient if you understand. If you have any doubt, don't hesitate to ask me. I will be more than happy to answer your doubt. So we will log off for today and join tomorrow.